On today's episode, we're answering the question, no, we're not, because I'm on the wrong damn outline.
All I was going to add is that when you're constantly seeking approval, when you're constantly looking for the pat on the back to feed that feeling of, am I, how good am I? How great am I? But not also being open to that feedback. Like you just want the praise, but you don't want the constructive feedback that says, hey, this wasn't bad, but now I'm going to put both hands all the way up on this. I have not been in the past very receptive to constructive feedback. I definitely had not in I didn't feel, I still don't feel, and maybe I'm wrong, I didn't feel like it was an inflated ego. What I thought or what I feel it was is I was not I was very defensive and not and sometimes I still am, but I was not open to feedback because I thought I was doing everything right. My partner will tell you over and over that, there's a lot of defensiveness that I've had to work my way through. And the reason that we're talking about this, and this is how it's going to help you, and we're going to dive right into some real actual like action steps in a second. But the way this is going to help you is it's going to help you grow your business. Because if you're only operating from a sense of, I'm the best in my field, I know exactly what I'm doing, nobody can do it as good as me, and all the other stuff that goes with that trope, what you're going to find is you're going to be very lonely, very unhappy, very unsatisfied, not very successful, and you're going to have a ton of turnover if you have a team. You're going to see dwindling sales, and you're never going to reach that element of success that you actually want. So here's how we're going to help. The first thing that we want you to look at is your positioning. And I think Allison can to talk a little bit more about this. She's better than me, so I'm going to give the mic to her on that one.
I really like how you said that, by the way, just what can happen if this is not something you work on. And it is transferable to every area of your life, just as a heads up, as most development in our business is, because we're working on ourselves. All right. So when you think about your positioning, what I want you to do is think about how you want to be seen by the world and what you're doing to make that happen. Okay. If you want to be seen as the premier expert on tropical bird feathers, I don't know, then what are you doing to help position you that way? And if part of what you're doing does not include talking to people who also love tropical bird feathers, you're doing it wrong. Okay? Because it's not about how you see yourself. You might think, I am the best tropical bird feather expert in the whole world. But if the rest of the world doesn't see you that way, it doesn't matter. Okay? At the same time, you cannot afford to worry about what people outside the tropical bird feather industry are saying. You can't afford to spend all of your effort and energy worrying about all of the other tropical bird feather experts out there. I'm wondering how many times I could say tropical bird feather in this episode.
Apparently quite a few.
Yeah, well, I just
yeah.
I'm leaning into it. You can't sit there and worry all the time about what other people think of you, because it's going to be exhausting. Here's the deal. The only people that matter are the people you work with. Now, that doesn't give you a license to be a jerk. All right. You still got to put good in the world. But if they're not paying you, why do you care about their negative comments on TikTok or Instagram? Who cares? Why are you spending so much effort and energy on pleasing everyone to fuel a need to be liked by everyone when that's not going to help you see the success that you want to see?
There's a really interesting, again, I'm going into the uh, brain of this thing.
You're geeking out. I
I'm
gotcha.
geeking out and I'm loving it actually. So there's a difference. People who have larger egos and like you were talking about trying to please everybody to get those accolades, etc., they actually have a full lack of confidence. They lack confidence. And it's interesting that people who have confidence in their businesses have acknowledged and also reduced the importance of having ego in their businesses, right? So this is a really cool correlation. And if you're finding that you're seeing some, if you're seeing yourself in some of this as we're talking about it, then that becomes an external conversation, a longer conversation for you to have in terms of what are you doing in terms of prioritizing your business? Are you prioritizing yourself over your business? Or are you prioritizing your customers and your clients in your business? Are you listening to others? Are you listening to your team? Or are you not listening to your team? We'll go into all this in a little bit, right? But these are the risks. These are the innate risks if you don't. And the last one, this is a really, I mean, this is a big one, but if you're taking all the credit. So if these, Allison's eyebrows just shot up about 3 feet, right? If these are the things that are happening, and sometimes it's really difficult to have that self-actualization, to realize this is what's going on. But if you can get to that point, it's transformative in your business. I work every day, and I know Allison sees this. I know my partner sees this. Well, hopefully he sees this. I try not to be as defensive. I work really hard on not being a defensive person when it comes to feedback or in the business or in life, because again, everything we're talking about today feeds off of and feeds into the other aspects of your life. So just my 2 cents. I had to say it. It was my 2 cents on that.
You're a dick. Seriously.